Testing, testing.
Okay, we still have a few students checking in at the back, so we're gonna give it a minute for them. And we still have one speaker that is on his way, so we'll be just a few minutes. All right, we just have one or two more students who are checking in, so we're gonna give them a moment to have a seat, to get checked in and have a seat. All right, if we can have all students come and sit on the left. Graduating students, thank you. On your right, my left. Okay.
Hello and welcome to our celebration honoring 2025 spring graduates. UAA recognizes and values the diversity of our unique location on the ancestral homelands of the Dena'ina, Atna, Alutiiq Sugpiaq, and Ayak Dahayuga peoples. I am Dr. Jenny Brock, the Associate Dean for Academics here at the College of Engineering, and I'm honored to serve as your MC this afternoon. First, we'll hear from Chancellor Sean Parnell, followed by the College of Engineering Dean Kenrick Mock. After that, your department chairs will read the names of graduates in their departments. Graduates, when your department chair calls your name, you will come to the front and stand just to the right of the screen. We're going to take lots of pictures. Please refer to the program you were given for a complete list of all graduates. For those watching the live stream, a link to the program is at the top of the event page. In addition, we will recognize our graduates who are eligible to receive their NCEES honor cords by passing the FE or FS exam in preparation for licensure. After that, after the graduates are recognized, Dr. Scott Hamill will announce the Engineering Design Competition Awards. Then those of you participating will recite the oath of the Order of the Engineer and/or the Pledge of the Computing Professional, followed by the student speakers and the alumni speaker. Finally, after closing remarks, we will take our traditional class photo on the stairs. Before I invite Chancellor Parnell to the podium, on behalf of the college, we'd like to thank you for your service to UAA as you prepare to retire. We've appreciated your leadership and commitment to UAA over the last 4 years, and especially your participation in our College of Engineering Advisory Board meetings and this event, and your participation in Words of Wisdom. So we wish you and your family all the best in your next endeavors.
It is so great to be with you. This is part of the reason I'm here is because this is one of my favorite moments. And so if you will just indulge me, I'm going to take a photo of you, okay? Because this is about our students. See, I gotta have a few memories here to remember, a few things to remember. And I just really appreciate all of you and what this college means. Dean Kenrick-Mock and Dr. Brock, thank you for your leadership here, and thank you to all the faculty who have and staff who have made this possible for our graduates. This is really a special time, and I guess I should just begin just by saying congratulations, graduates. This represents a huge milestone for each of you. Our College of Engineering programs across all the disciplines are rigorous, and you have done it. You have made it, and our entire UAA community applauds your achievement. On Sunday, another special day when you get to join about 900 of your classmates. You're going to join hundreds of students in graduating from UAA. It's a milestone I know that you'll remember and is worthy of celebration. So do enjoy this time with your classmates, your colleagues, your friends, and your family. You know, one thing you'll notice at commencement is you'll come up, you'll get your degrees, and there will be a conferring of the degrees ahead of at the very end, and you'll hear that your degree comes with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that go with it. And I want to speak to those responsibilities a little bit and the oath that you're going to take today. The words you will state, words with meaning and consequence, reach far beyond what you will say here this afternoon. An oath is a solemn pledge. It's a deep, continuing commitment and a responsibility to be true to what you promise. And I can tell you that as a person who was a practicing attorney for 25 years, and I took an oath as an officer of the courts, just as you're going to take an oath as engineers and in your computer science fields, that oath will be something that you will need to come back to at least a handful of times across your career. And it's an important set of words, and I want you to really think on it and internalize it, because oaths are a promise, but also a guidepost to recall when facing ethical dilemmas in life and in your career. As someone who's actually taken several of those professional oaths in my life, I can tell you that there will be times when the oath you take is tested. Do not succumb to pressure or suggestions to work in the gray area, so-called, when confronting ethical issues in your profession. I had the gift of a boss who, when I came to him with an ethical dilemma, which I knew what I wanted to do, but I wanted to just double check with him. He said, "Sean, we don't operate in the gray area. We stay on the bright side of the ethics line." And he gave me that freedom to just breathe easy and do what I knew I needed to do. And my hope for you is that you will have a boss like that, and that you will be a boss like that in your field. You will never regret staying true to your professional oaths. So let me conclude by once again celebrating you and your achievement. The rights and privileges that you have earned here are significant, and the responsibility you carry in our community as a professional is profoundly impactful. I know you're ready to serve our state and communities And I'm truly excited for the potential you possess and for the bright future that you will help create in our state. So congratulations, graduates, and thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Chancellor Parnell. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the College of Engineering Dean, Dr. Kenrick Ma.
All right, I'm honored you're joining us for the celebration of graduates here at the college. I know we got a pretty jam-packed agenda, but I'd like to make a few remarks along the same lines of professional responsibilities and ethics. So if I could take you back to the early 1990s, we had this kind of brand new thing, the World Wide Web, that was just starting up. And the internet was just kind of growing at the time, so lots of dial-up modems. But as a graduate student in computer science, it was really exciting for me to be right in the thick of all of this transformational change with new companies and technologies and people and information connecting at this really astounding rate. But the rush to build came at a cost. We didn't know how to protect privacy. We didn't know how to manage misinformation or prevent cyberbullying. These are things where the ethics came after the engineering. As an example, I was working at Intel, the semiconductor firm, in the late 90s. And the company released the Pentium 3 new processor, and it had a new feature that most people had no idea was there. It was called the PSN, the processor serial number. And it's exactly like it sounds. Every processor had a unique serial number. And the idea was, well, with the serial number, you could do serial number things. You could do inventory tracking. You could tie licenses to a computer. Maybe you could log in and authenticate without having to type in your password because you would know what computer you're on. So these all sounded good, but in an interconnected age where you could find out the processor serial number, this meant that any application or website could track your computer across sessions. And so there's a privacy issue here. Intel later disabled this by default, but it's an example of just because you can do it, it doesn't mean that you should do it. Ethical thinking should be embedded at all levels of the system design, even in places where it seems like it's not relevant, like designing a piece of hardware. So with the development of the web and the internet was kind of my generation's big moment. Today you have one with artificial intelligence that's growing at this rapid rate, just like before, and is doing amazing things, kind of like the growth of the internet and the web, and is full of similar risks like algorithmic bias, the possibility for misrepresentation, the impact on jobs, and much more. Dr. Brock recently organized a workshop with the engineering community and asked them, how are they using AI and what should our students know when they graduate about AI? And I'm rather impressed that the #1 skill that our community reported wasn't like a technology skills thing. It was that our students should recognize the ethical uses of AI and its limitations. So although you are College of Engineering graduates and should very rightly embrace your finely honed science and technology skills, judgment matters. So never forget to ask, should we be doing this? Who does it benefit? And who might it harm? All right, so that's my little aside. So let's get back to why we're here. So this spring, we're pleased to be graduating 64 College of Engineering students. The demand for all of you, engineers, computer scientists, geomatics, and project management professionals is still critically needed, especially right here in Alaska. Soon, you will be joining our esteemed UAA College of Engineering alumni, a very accomplished group of professionals who are applying their talents right here in Alaska and around the world. Our alumni have done some amazing things like designing bridges and roads. They've created and led companies, built robots and self-driving cars, analyzed astronomical data, And one of the noblest professions, they've taught others about the wonders of engineering from the university level all the way down to kindergarten. Like our accomplished alumni, I challenge you to also engage and inspire others to consider that you have the knowledge and skills to affect real change in the world, and that you have the responsibility to uphold the standards of your profession. As a token of our appreciation of your hard work and to mark the occasion, new graduates will be receiving a small gift of a College of Engineering alumni keychain. And if you haven't already, they should be at the table in the back. I am really pleased to share this moment with you and congratulate all of you on your achievements.
When I was in high school, we used to say, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, got the keychain. I don't know if that was like a generational thing or an Ohio thing, but you know, with your college keychain, you can say, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, got the keychain. I am pleased to call on our department chairs to read the names of our graduating students. Not all of our graduates are able to be with us today, but in order to honor all of our graduates' hard work, we will be reading all of their names. The chairs will note students who are graduating with departmental honors. Graduates, please come to the front and stand just to the right of the screen on the SIPS panel stage when your name is called, and remain standing for a picture with your department chair after all the grads from your department have been named. So Dr. Hamill, will you please begin with civil engineering?
All right, we're going to do the most important department first. So, all right. I would like, as I read your name, please come forward and to the stage. Camden Atkins, we have, Bachelor of Science. Camden Atkins, Sean Gonzalez with honors, Peter Hines with honors, Aaron Hippler with honors, Hudson Horwath, Samuel Huff, Eric Jenkins, Paco Leshon, Denali Russell, Jacob Snyder, Jomart Sumoang, Daniel Tedrick, and Job, sorry. And we have one Master's of Science student, Jacob Lovas. Congratulations. Now I'll turn it over to Dr. Frank Whitmer for computer science and engineering.
All right, super. Thanks, Scott. Okay, yeah, I am pleased to introduce to you all the graduates from the Computer Science and Engineering Department. We've got 3 programs here, and I'll start out with the Bachelor of Arts. So as I read your name, please come on up to the podium here. First up, Sebastian Corchino with honors, Jarrett Lindemood, Renz Julian Pasquale, Michael Pollard. All right, so that's for the Bachelor of Arts, and now we'll move on here to the Bachelor of Science here. Just stay up there. We'll get everybody up there together. Yeah, it'll be more fun that way. Okay, so first up for the Bachelor of Science, we've got Zachary Abdallah with honors, Uriah Elanepi, Jiwan Bay, Benjamin Brown with honors, Daniel Jacob Corpus, Connor Kreis, Clint Schultisek, Horace Snyder, Alfred Soriano with honors, Eleonora Stadtmuller Caballero with honors, Isaac Vinson, Ashton I always want to say Wagner because I like Wagner, but I'm guessing you go with Wagner, don't you? That's all right. Ruby Wright and Christopher Yang with honors. And then last up, we've got the Bachelor of Science in Computer Systems Engineering. So Mitchell Greenlee. And then Eleonora Stadtmüller Caballeros already on the stage with the double degree. So let's give a round of applause for our graduates here. Okay, next up, I'll hand it over to Jens Monk from Electrical Engineering. Take it away, Jens.
Thank you, Frank. Before I read off the names of our graduates, I just want to give a quick shout out to our really great faculty in our department. Starting with Professor Peterson. We only needed a hammer thrower and we got so much more. Professor Hidari, one of two Professor Hidaris in our college, Professor Kupalik, and our newest faculty member, Professor Chokor, who we're just thrilled to have. So anyway, they do a wonderful job in preparing our graduates for their next level, whether it's grad school or on to a job or whatever. So anyway, now on to our graduating seniors. When I call your name, please come up. Jacob Chase, Connor Dowling, Ethan Hoyer graduates with honors. I usually forget to add that part, so you're lucky, Ethan. William Lamb. So let's take a moment to give these guys a I actually forgot one on the list here. Kendra Robbins, who I don't think is here. Thank you, Kenry, for catching that. I'm not going to forget this next one, though. Kaisha, Dr. Kaisha Wang from Geomatics is up next, so take it away, Kaisha.
Thank you, Jens. Oh, great. Good afternoon, everyone. So now I would like to invite all the students from Geomatics program, please come to the stage when I call your name. If you're attending online, please turn on your camera too when I call your name. So here we have student from Occupational Endorsement Certificate in GIS, Teresa Vertigan. All right. Student from the Bachelor of Science, we have Andrew Carlson with honors. Ari Endesta. Yay. Bradley Sarajek. And maybe one from the Colorado, Luke Strider, unfortunately. Oh, congratulations. Oh, now I will turn it over to Dr. Raghu Srinivasan for mechanical engineering.
Thanks, Kaisha. So it's the mechanical turn. I would like to invite all students from the mechanical engineering program to the stage. First, Bachelor of Science, Ashley Alexander. Kevin Angarita Roman, Hayden Galloway, Matt Gibbert, Ilian Lopez, Blake Olenek-Sack, Michael Quarterman. We got Sebastian Reed with honors. Peter Tao. We got Stanley Wu with honors. All right, so we got 4 Master of Science students this time. Jacob Bodolaski. William Cashmore. Lawrence Guron Jr. Ashay Malay. All right, let's take a moment to congratulate our students. I would like to call all the ME faculties for the photo here. So who is here? It's a trick to show that we got more graduates, right? Now it's turned to Professor Luan Paquette for project management.
Welcome and thank you all for coming today. I'm speaking on behalf of our amazing MSPM graduates this semester. Project management, we're all about maximizing project success to elevate our world, whether that's professionally or as a matter of social impact. So we're very proud of our graduates, and all they're doing is a very interdisciplinary major that cuts across every aspect of what we do in the professional space. So with that, I'd like to recognize our 8 graduates this semester: Molly Anslinger, Louise Cardenas, Dranusha Hukali, Christopher Jimenez, Ruger Johnson, Scott Michael, Philip Lednikov, and Julio Egren. With that, I will turn it back over to Associate Dean Brock.
Dr. Scott Hamill and Professor David Brock, please join me at the podium to introduce our graduates who have taken and passed the FE and FS exams before graduation. Please note that some of our students are still scheduled to take the exams after graduation. After the NCEES honor cords are handed out, Dr. Hamill will announce the winners of the capstone poster competition.
All right, so we're excited about this. Is a new thing for us. We have never done this before. So David and I are here representing the professionals because we are both licensed, and so we're handing this out as licensed professionals. So bear with me for a minute. This is a little bit long. Professional engineering and surveying licensure establishes a high standard of integrity, skill, and practice in the professions of engineering and land surveying to safeguard the life, health, property, and welfare of the public. Engineers and surveyors recognize that this is their primary obligation in the performance of their professional duties. In 1912, A.C. Mulford, a professor of civil engineering and land surveying, identified these as, quote, professions for people who believe that a professional is measured by their work and not their purse. The safety of buildings, bridges, roads, and technologies used in our everyday life, as well as the integrity of property boundaries and access rights, depends on licensed professional engineers and surveyors who have successfully demonstrated competence through education, experience, and examination requirements. The fundamentals of engineering and fundamentals of surveying exams administered by the National Council of Examiners for Engineering and Surveying, or NCEES, are the first steps in the process. That's right, the first steps in the process of becoming a licensed professional, or PE, or a professional land surveyor, PLS. It is designed for recent graduates and students who are close to finishing an undergraduate engineering degree from an EAC ABET accredited program or an undergraduate surveying degree from an ABET accredited program. Those who successfully pass the fundamentals of engineering exam are designated engineer in training, or EIT, or land surveyor in training, an LSIT. Students who are past the FE or FS before graduation are eligible to receive an NCEES honor cord to wear at their graduation ceremony.
The following students have earned the designation EIT. When I call your name, please come to the front, accept your cord, and stand to the right of the screen. Hudson Horwath. Jomart Sumawang. Jacob Snyder. Samuel Huff. Aaron Hippler. Sean Gonzalez. And Sebastian Reed. We have one student who passed the FS exam who could not be here today, but Luke Schneider has also earned the designation LSIT.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll go here. It's a new thing. All right, me again. So now for the moment some of you have been waiting for. So we have a little contest here in the College of Engineering called the, next slide. Oh, there we go. Okay. Called the Engineering Design Competition. And some refer to this as the poster competition, but it's not a poster competition. It's it's really, we judge it of the posters that everybody does in their capstone. So all of the engineering, actually this year, I think almost every department, electrical engineering, computer science, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, all participated in this competition. And we had 2 awards, a overall judged award that are judged by faculty from each department, and then also a People's Choice Award, which is basically a popularity contest. Not exactly, actually. I was very happy to see that all of the high-ranking People's Choice Awards were also in the running in the judged competition. So, and there are prizes that come with this. The 3rd place prize for each category is the coveted UAA 3D printed keychain. 2nd place is the also coveted College of Engineering squishy Lego. And then finally, the water jetted aluminum College of Engineering keychain for 1st place. So I know, right? So once, I'm not gonna have everybody come up and get their stuff, so find me afterwards during the milling about portion, and I will give you your prizes. I have one for everybody. So all right, so without further ado, we are doing which is first? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Maybe we won't. I think it's judged first. I think judge is first. Yeah. Okay. So third place for the judge. Oh, and I should also mention there were 14 posters representing the capstones in each discipline, capstone projects in each discipline. So third place for the judged award. Sorry, where's my piece of paper? That was in the box. I do not have them committed to memory. All right, so third place for the overall judged award is Funny River Boat Launch Facility. Nope. Are they in backwards order? What order are they in? There we go. So we keep it a big secret, which means nobody gets to see it until we're actually here. Third place, Funny River Boat Launch, Sam Huff, John Somwang, Paco Leshan, and Camden Atkins from Civil Engineering. Congratulations. And it turns out that I'm gonna kind of change up the order here. This was also third place for the People's Choice Award. So you get which means you get 2 keychains. All right, second place for the judged, I believe. Second place was the course evaluation surveys by Renz Pascal, Daniel Corpus, and Sebastian Corsino from Computer Science. And first place in the judged award, the AMATS Fireweed Lane Rehabilitation, Chelsea Knight, Robert Weber, Hudson Horwath, Sean Gonzalez, and Jacob Snyder from Civil Engineering. All right, and on to the People's Choice. We already said third place, which was from Civil Engineering. Just like to point that out. Second place for the People's Choice Award was Optimizing Tidal Turbine Blade Performance. Ashley Alexander and Reese Tibet. I don't know if I said that right, but all right. That's pretty good. And that is from Mechanical Engineering. So excellent project. And then first place in the People's Choice Award, the Whittier Slide Zone Avalanche Mitigation. This was by Denali Russell, Aaron Hippler, Peter Hines, and Job Thomas. So also from Civil Engineering. All right, that concludes our, so don't forget to find me for your rewards. And I will turn it back over to Dr. Brock.
Thank you, chairs, and congratulations, graduates. I commend you for your accomplishments. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Getu Hailu, Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering, who will conduct the Order of the Engineer oath. Dr. Hailu took the oath of the Order of the Engineer in Montreal, Canada, which has the historical significance of being the location of the second ceremony ever held on April 25th, 1925. Dr. Hailu took the oath a lot later. After Dr. Hailu tells us a little more about its significance, those of you who are taking the oath will come to the front, to the right of the stage, when called. We also invite anyone else who is a graduate engineer and who is eligible and wants to take the oath to join us. Both the oath and the pledge are on the back of the program and will be displayed on the screen here. They are also on the event page for those watching the live stream.
Thank you, Dr. Brock. Okay, good afternoon. This ceremony presents us an opportunity for us to take a pledge and to recall that the professional purpose of engineering involves the pursuit of a learned art in the spirit of public service. By following the acceptance of the obligation, the individual engineer reinforces similar efforts of his or her peers, realizing that in unity there is a strength. The obligation is the formal statement of an engineer's responsibilities to the public and to the profession. It's a creed similar to the oath attributed to Hippocrates that is commonly taken by medical graduates and which sets forth an ethical code. The order is symbolized by the acceptance of an obligation and the wearing of a stainless steel ring on the little finger of the working hand. We will now have all those who are taking the oath come to the front. Please come forward. Okay. Raise your right hand and recite after me. I am an engineer.
I am an engineer.
In my profession, I take deep pride.
In my profession, I take deep pride.
To it, I owe solemn obligations.
To it, I owe solemn obligations.
As an engineer,
As an engineer,
I pledge to practice integrity and fair dealing,
I pledge to practice integrity and fair dealing,
tolerance and respect,
tolerance and respect,
and to uphold devotion to the standards
and to uphold devotion to the standards
and the dignity of my profession,
and the dignity of my profession,
conscious always
conscious always
that my skill carries with it
that my skill carries with it
the obligation to serve humanity
the obligation to serve humanity
by making the best use of the earth's precious wealth.
by making the best use of the earth's precious wealth.
As an engineer,
As an engineer,
I shall participate in none but honest enterprises.
I shall participate in none but honest enterprises.
When needed,
When needed,
my skill and knowledge shall be given without reservation for the public good.
my skill and knowledge shall be given without reservation for the public good.
In the performance of duty and in fidelity to my profession,
In the performance of duty and infidelity
I shall give my utmost. Congratulations. I welcome each of you to the Order of the Engineer.
Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Pratibhan Katharavelu, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Engineering, who will conduct the Pledge of the Computing Professional.
The UAA College of Engineering chapter of the Pledge of the Computing Professional was established in 2019 as the first node in Alaska, embodied with the right and privilege to conduct this rite of passage ceremony. Before we ask the initiates to obligate themselves to the Pledge of the Computing Professional, we pause to consider the history of and motivation for this organization. In 2007, inspired by the example of the Order of the Engineer, individuals at Ohio Northern University and the University of South Florida created similar organizations for graduates of their respective computing programs. After interest in such organization grew at other institutions, the Pledge of the Computing Professional was developed by an international team of 17 computing professionals. The organization held its first induction ceremonies in May 2011. Through this public rite of passage ceremony, we foster professional pride, moral obligation, and ethical responsibility in all graduates of computing disciplines. The initiates who are present here today will soon take this pledge. After the ceremony, there will be no organizational meetings to attend, nor any dues to be paid. However, members of this organization are expected to keep their pledge to uphold and honor their chosen profession. The certificate and label pin a matrix with the word honor encoded in ASCII that each of our initiates receive will serve as visible reminders of this pledge throughout their professional careers. Now, in the presence of your fellow computing professionals, I invite those of you choosing to take the pledge today to please come to the front. Raise your right hand and recite after me. I am a computing professional. My work as a computing professional affects people's lives.
My work as a computing professional affects people's lives.
Both now and into the future.
Both now and into the future.
As a result, I bear moral and ethical responsibilities to society.
As a result, I bear moral and ethical responsibilities to society.
As a computing professional, I pledge to practice my profession with the highest level of integrity and competence. I shall always use my skills for the public good. I shall be honest about my limitations. Continuously seeking to improve my skills through lifelong learning. I shall engage only in honorable and upstanding endeavors.
I shall engage only in honorable and outstanding endeavors.
By my actions, I pledge to honor my chosen profession.
By my actions, I pledge to honor my chosen profession.
Congratulations.
Next, we'll hear from our student speakers, followed by our alumni speaker. But first, I would like to invite Professor Luann Picard to introduce Louise Cardenas. Following Louise, Dr. Raghu Srinivasan will introduce Jacob Bodolowski. Professor Picard, will you please begin?
So it was a great pleasure that I introduced Louise Cardenas. She's one of our MSPM graduate students. And Jacob, it's nice to see you here today too, being one of our student speakers. Had the privilege of having him in my class. But Louise is an exemplary example of a project management graduate who is taking what she's learned in this program and applying it in a career field that's outside of what we would traditionally think of in the engineering field. So she's in the healthcare field. And it just shows how you can take this type of discipline and program and be able to apply it in so many different industry areas. So with great pleasure, I would like to introduce you today to Louise Cardenas to speak on behalf of graduate students here in the College of Engineering.
Hello. I'm gonna vomit. Good afternoon, friends, family, and graduates. First off, I want to say the obvious. Congrats. Today is a day that we've been working towards for years, and it's an incredible honor to stand here with you today and celebrate this moment. Whether you're graduating with your bachelor's, master's, each one of us has climbed a mountain to get here. We have faced early mornings, late nights, tough deadlines, group projects, and endless stress. Yet here we are. We made it. For me, graduate school wasn't part of a lifelong plan. It started with a simple realization. Every career path I envisioned required project management experience. So pursuing a master's in project management became the next obvious step. I thought this would be a temporary stop during my time in Alaska, but it became so much more. This program introduced me to a discipline that fits my strengths, ambitions, and deeply neurotic personality. It also gave me friendships, deeper connections, and a true sense of belonging that I hadn't realized I was missing. Like many of us, balancing a job, financial pressures, and academic responsibilities tested me. But the hardest challenge, adjusting to life in Alaska, having grown up in Florida. At one point, I seriously thought about taking a semester off, but I found that school gave me purpose and stability when everything else felt uncertain. Leaning into my studies helped me find my footing. Today, we celebrate not just the degree or title, but the journey. Every lecture we sat through when we were struggling just to stay awake, every test we pushed ourselves to study for, and every time we failed and had to get back up again. That work, that resilience, that determination is what brought us here to this stage. Because this wasn't given. No one handed us this degree, no one handed us this title. Being here was earned, hard earned. We chose this path. We chose to better ourselves, whether for our loved ones or for our own future. We chose to dream. We chose more. We are problem solvers, creators, innovators, and builders of our future. It goes without saying it wasn't easy to get here, but that's what makes today all the more special. I hope we take a moment today to recognize the support of the people we met along the way. Our friends, families, professors, mentors, everyone who believed in us. Thank you. And finally, I hope we take a moment to be proud of ourselves. We have the skills, determination, and heart to tackle whatever comes next. Today may be the end of a chapter, but it's only the beginning of the amazing things to come. As for me, I don't know exactly where I'm headed to next, whether IT, construction, or continuing in clinical research, but I do know that this program has given me the skills to lead projects, the resilience to adapt, and the confidence to take on new challenges wherever they may come. So one final thank you to UAA, friends, family, professors, mentors, and ChatGPT.
Thanks, Louise. That was great.
So it's my turn to introduce the next speaker. So it's my honor to introduce the next speaker. So he's our MSME graduate, Jacob Bodolaski. So it's not long ago he got his BSME. I think it's exactly a year ago he got his BSME from here. So he's one of our accelerated program student. So he's almost like 2 for 1 for us, right? So he got his BSME last year, MSME this year. So he's going to talk now. So within this 1 year, he's done a lot of things which he's going to talk about. But I just wanted to tell a little story. 2 years ago, when we went to our first field trip, one of the many field trips to Kodiak. So we were in Kodiak, and then we were coming back from Kodiak, and then we were at the TSA line, and I saw Jacob's ID. The ID was like vertical. And I said, uh-oh. Then I went slowly to him and I asked him, like, are you allowed to travel alone? Should I just ask your parents, or did I miss that? And then he said, like, no, Dr. Raghu, I'm old enough to travel alone, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, don't get fooled by his baby face. He's an incredible student. Got his BSME with honors from here like about a year ago. So he got his MSME. He's going to tell a lot of stories. So I've just let him talk about it. So let's invite Jacob Bodolaski now.
Thank you, Dr. Raghu. I do have to say, I guess, before I start talking, it is funny. We were up in Fairbanks, I guess a year and a half ago. And I was with Lawrence, a colleague of mine, and we bring our boxes up to TSA. And I'm 23, by the way. And when this happened, I was 22. And the lady, asked for my ID. I hand her my ID. And then she, takes everything and puts everything on the scale. And then Lawrence walks up and she hands me my ID back. And then she takes another look at me and she goes, "Are you above 16? And I was like, yeah, I have been for quite a while now. And then she goes, I hate to ask this, but let me see your ID just once more. Let me double check. And it's just, I've gotten that here, there, and yonder, but awesome. Well, good evening, everyone. And thank you for celebrating this incredible occasion with us all tonight. I know I had some slides associated with this, and I guess, okay, I'll just cue you when to move them. My name is Jacob Bodolaski. I'm a College of Engineering student graduating with my Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering. A few of us here today participated in UAA's Fast Track MSME program, applying for our graduate coursework before we'd even finished our undergrad. We thought 4 years was not too bad. What's one more year? Only to be promptly and humbly backslapped by the full force of research, classes, and deadlines. So yes, we may be a bit bruised, a little sleep deprived and overly caffeinated, but we made it. Before I share a bit about my story and then end with a brief encouragement to you all as well, I want to recognize the achievements of every graduate here tonight. Many of us started our journey, or at least had it seriously disrupted by a global pandemic. We adapted to remote learning, Zoom lectures, and a constantly shifting academic landscape. Despite all that, we endured and succeeded in an already challenging degree field. That perseverance deserves an applause. Congratulations and job well done to everybody. I also want to sincerely thank the faculty and staff at UAA, especially the Mechanical Engineering Department, for your mentorship, support, and patience. I've spoken with many friends studying engineering around the country, and I can confidently say that there's something very special about what we have here at UAA. I'd especially like to thank my advisor, Dr. Raghu Srinivasan. I probably butchered that. Dr. Raghu, your guidance in both research and professional development will have a lasting impact on me. Working with you on atmospheric corrosion research across Alaska, from undergrad research to graduate research, shaped not only my college experience, but my future career as well. Thank you. Now, I want to tie my last thank you into a bit of my background. Growing up, I was homeschooled and moved all around the country, from South Carolina to Oklahoma to now Sutton, Alaska. I graduated from high school in 2020, right as COVID hit, and started the mechanical engineering program here at UAA, which I believe that's the first slide. Just some pictures. These are just some pictures as I'm talking along. I had no idea if I was making the right choice. But every engineering class and problem I encountered only confirmed that this was exactly where I belonged. During my time here, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunities to undertake undergraduate and graduate level research, present our work at multiple engineering conferences. I was allowed to be a TA to some of the graduating class here today. Hopefully you all still like me just a little bit after that. And I even got to chase another dream of mine outside of school. Next slide. In summer of 2024, last summer, between my thesis research and coursework, I spent a very hefty 2 weeks and earned my private pilot's dream job of mine, flying the mighty C-130 Hercules for the Alaska Air National Guard. I did apply for that job and was a part of 120 applicants, slated for about 45 interviews, taking only 2 people for the position I was hoping to get. Given my young age and lack of prior experience, I assumed that this would be the first of many times. I will return to Alaska to join the rescue triad, working to provide search and rescue support for the entire state of Alaska and those in combat. Engineering and flying are 2 things I love to do, and I'm blessed to be given a chance to do both. This leads me to my final thank you, and next slide, to my siblings, my mom, and especially my dad, who was both an engineer and a C-130 pilot for nearly 25 years. Sorry. Time won't allow me to express congratulations to the College of Engineering, class of 2025. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Louise and Jacob. Now I'm honored to introduce John Roeder, a Bachelor of Science in Geomatics alumnus who graduated in 2013. John serves on the Geomatics Advisory Board.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me here. As an alumnus, I always loved coming back to UAA. It's great to be here. So when I graduated, my brother-in-law gave me a pair of UAA cufflinks. He said that as time went on, his undergrad school became more important to him, to his identity. Now Dan went to West Point, so at the time I thought he was crazy. I was absolutely positive that UAA was not going to be important to me as West Point is to Dan. Admittedly, I sort of cast away his well thought of gift. Because for me, 14 years ago, in the weeks leading to where you are today, I was frankly over it. Time to move on, time to make money. Anyone feeling that way here right now? Yeah, you're done. You're time to move on, right? So I do hate to admit it, but Dan was right. UAA has grown in importance to me, to my identity. Dan was right because at the time, I did not fully realize how much I enjoyed being on campus. The Spine, the Daily Den, the art galleries, the ping pong tables, I don't know if they're still there, the surrounding trails, going for a bike ride at lunch, and even the cookbook section of the library, which if you haven't visited, I encourage you to. Places I frequently visited as a student, but rarely visit now, still have warm spots in my heart. I spent hours here solving problems, resting, working, visiting, studying. What a place to be. What a community resource we have right here in the heart of our city. Dan was right because life took good friends from undergrad down different paths. I often think of a good friend I have not seen since graduation. 6'10" Liam Gibkis was a civil engineer student from Australia, and as you guessed it, also a UAA basketball player. Together, Liam and I fought through physics 211 and 212. I'm sure all of you here have stories about that. He came to dinner often. I met his family when they visited. When he went back to Oz, I dropped him off at the airport. Since then, we have rarely spoken for no other reason than life happens. Someday, hopefully soon, we will reconnect. Because of our time spent here as undergrads, Liam and I know that when we will get together, we will pick up right where we left off, and perhaps even to solve a few physics problems together. Well, just kidding. We definitely won't play basketball unless it's me and him versus his kids. Finally, just as Dan got the knowledge he needed at West Point to succeed, UAA provided me with the knowledge I needed to thrive as a geomatics professional. In the last 14 years, I built a career pathway and a solid foundation for my studies from UAA. This college, the College of Engineering, continues to produce high-quality graduates that build, design, manage big things in Alaska and beyond. I know because I manage a recent graduate and a current student. When I started at UAA, I was a first-generation college student, a 29-year-old freshman, and an ex-forest firefighter. West Point would not have been the place for me, but UAA was, and I wear these cufflinks with pride. I hope many of you feel the same way, or at least sometime will in the future. So now as you sit here as alumni, as a parent, I could tell you that a great PTA is critical for a great school. Well, universities don't have PTAs, they have alumni. Alumni elevate universities. Alumni save programs. Alumni influence outcomes. So I encourage you to take your new role as a member of the alumni seriously. So please keep in contact, stay involved with UAA, continue to collaborate with other alumni, mentor future students, consider giving when able to grow scholarship funds, and come back and have tea with a professor. I don't know if Dr. Gianco's here, but that is one of my favorite things to do when I come back to UAA. So you are now part of an amazing group of professionals. UAA graduates in engineering, computing, geomatics, and project management are shaping our community. We are honored to welcome you to our ranks and to celebrate your accomplishments here today. Congratulations.
Thank you, John. You're a lot taller than I am. Before we wrap up, we have one more graduate we'd like to recognize. You all know her. You've received emails from her, probably many. She may have advised you or processed a petition on your behalf. Although she's not one of our College of Engineering grads, the faculty and staff in the college are just as proud of her as we are of all of you. Graduating with her Bachelor of Human Services, we'd like to invite Angie Bishop up front. Angie, we know that you will not be at commencement on Sunday, but we were able to get your diploma cover for you.
And a chancellor and a dean.
Congratulations, Angie, on all your hard work completing your degree, and thank you for all that you do for the College of Engineering. Thank you. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Engineering, thank you all for joining us in this special celebration today. At this time, graduates, please do not run for the cupcakes. Gather on the stairs for your class photo. And we'd also like to invite everyone to please stay for cupcakes and refreshments. Congratulations.